Hi, I'm Patricia Marsha Harris, and welcome to Dishing with Patricia. As a food, nutrition, and healthy lifestyle consultant, I believe food is our medicine. As the host of Dishing with Patricia, I also believe in connecting with notable guests who are willing to dish about themselves, local events, community topics, and of course, food. Today, my featured guest is Patty Jackson. I'm so excited. Patty supports citywide community events and donates her time to charitable endeavors. A veteran in broadcast radio with over 40 years of experience, primarily spent at iHeartMedia, WDAS-FM radio in Philadelphia. So let's get started. When did you know that this was your calling?
I was the little girl in church who read the poems with the afro puffs and standing up there with a pretty dress on. I was always in front of a microphone. Church. I was a basketball announcer. I was the high school announcer. I literally was always in front of a microphone. And it was like walking into my calling because God had already deemed my steps.
Okay.
I was on the radio 6 months after I graduated from high school, and that was 1981.
Get out.
Somebody didn't show up for work. I said, I'll do the newscast.
It was predestined. That was your calling.
It was. I just followed the steps.
So, give me a good, memorable moment that you'll never forget with radio that you said, oh yeah, this is really, really it.
When I met Quincy Jones, because I was in awe.
Yes.
And I'm like, Quincy Jones is there. I'm here. I'm talking to him like I knew him my entire life. That's when I was like, I'm in my element. I am doing what I'm supposed to do.
You know, when you have guests, you can kind of feel the chemistry. Mm-hmm. You know, who's going to work out, who's not going to work out. How do you deal with that?
In the beginning, it was very hard because I took it personal. But growing and maturing in my role, I learned how to cut an interview off fast. Be very nice and polite. The interview is over. Okay. And they'll look like it's over, you know, and I'm just real pleasant. Okay. I'm like, the interview is over, because I can kind of tell where it's going. Wow. I'm going to get annoyed. You don't want to cooperate. So it's like, let's just end it with a smile.
So with the internet and social media, which I follow you in social media, how has that changed in the role of what you do?
It has changed tremendously, because as important as the on-air portion is, yes, what you do on social media is just as important in terms of interacting and getting information out and connecting with people.
Okay.
When I started doing YouTube, people would say, where'd you come from? Where are you from? And I would say, I'm a radio vet in Philadelphia. But they did not know celebrities like a comedian, Lunel. She said, I thought you were just a girl who liked doing videos. And I said, no, I have a real job.
Right. So I want to continue to talk to you, but I made a cashew latte for us. So okay. It is raw cashews, which I toasted, and so it made it into a powder.
Okay.
But the recipe can be found on classyessentialnutrition.com. What's in this latte has some very nutritious and holistic properties. There's turmeric, there's ginger. A couple of years ago, you had some issues.
I did. I am a stroke survivor, and 7 years ago, I suffered a stroke 2 weeks after my mother died.
Did you have symptoms?
No. That I'm every woman, I'm going to keep moving. I kept going. If I had a stroke on a Wednesday, I didn't get to the hospital until Friday, because all I could think about was what I had to do. Tyler Perry was in town. I had to interview him. I just thought about what I had to do. Then when the doctor said, you know, 2 days later, I went to the doctor, which you should never do. Go immediately. I was like, she said, go to the hospital. I said, I got to take care of my son. I want to make sure my house. I came home. I'm making calls. I'm like, I'll be home. I'm just going to be in the hospital, I think, for the weekend. But I'll be right back home.
But did you, on Wednesday, did you know something happened?
No. In the midst of my depression, I fell. But I got back up. Because that's what I do. In the midst of my depression, I could not connect the dots that something had happened, but I was getting weaker and weaker, and this side of my body,
I was going to say, no one noticed?
Hard.
Even
they did. Let me tell you something. I lost my vision. I couldn't walk. I couldn't do this.
Within that 2 days?
Stayed. My vision left me the 5th day. That's when God said, you're not paying attention. I was trying to sign myself out of the hospital. God said, I'm taking your vision because you won't sit down. When he took my vision, that's when I knew this is serious.
I'm going to take this moment to come back, and we want to talk about women's issues. But I wanted to hear your story and this journey that has moved you forward, that because I believe in self-care. So give us a few minutes, and you're going to help me cook.
Okay.
We're going to gather a couple of things, but we want to talk about women's health because Black women have strokes and heart attacks, and they're silent, and we don't listen to our bodies. And as we age, we need to start readjusting in the things that we do about our cookings and stuff. So give us a few minutes, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm excited about this. We want to talk about women's health. But one of the things, while we're talking about that, we're going to just make a little something. So we're going to make a plant-based meatloaf. So what is in this is Beyond Meat sausage and then a plant-based meat crumble. And it's really, really good. So as we get older, our metabolism starts to slow down and our hormonal levels are off the chart and we start to gain weight. So it's important that we watch our carbohydrates. We want a complete carbohydrate. We don't want, everything should be complete. Like some of you may not have a complete protein. So plant-based diets help us in our aging. So I just want to introduce you to that. But one of the things is it'll help jumpstart your metabolism. So we're going to start first by, here's a little well that you put in there. So this is oat flour, but it started with this. These are whole oats. Whole oats are good for your fiber. They're also, they have omega-3s in them. So always incorporate whole grains in your diet. So just put that in the middle right there. The whole thing right there. Just put that in there. And then what I want to give you, this is a bell pepper. So I'm going to hand that to you. Can you get that? I'll help. We'll just take that out of there. And if you want to start stirring around, you can. I'll place them right here. And here is an onion. This is a cup. I think a cup and a half of medium-sized onions. All of these have been diced very finely. All of the recipes that we're cooking can be found on classyessentialnutrition.com. So here's, you keep stirring, and then I'll help you in the end. Let's just get those onions going.
Okay.
And here is some celery. I can give you, let me give you a sturdier, that'll mix it fat, you know, the handle on it is a little better. Here's a wooden handle, and that'll kind of move it around a little better for you.
And it is moving.
Yes, yes.
Bring on the feather.
So, and this is celery. Celery. It's chopped very fine. Right. But, you know, as we age, we need to incorporate not just how we eat, we need to exercise. We need to incorporate exercise in our diet. So a lot of people tell me that I'm walking when I'm at work. That is very good, but you need purposeful walking because you want to get your heart rate up. 20 minutes of a brisk walk a day is really good for you. What I found also, intermittent fasting helps in my hormonal level. I don't get hot flashes like I used to get then because of the intermittent fasting. But we'll find out that we don't need to eat as much as we used to. Okay, so what we're going to do, I made this, the recipes are there.
Okay.
This is my own tomato sauce with sun-dried tomatoes.
Okay.
So when you're cooking, I want you to build flavor and you want to build texture. So here's some panko. Let's keep that going. I'll help you in a moment after I finish. That's panko, breadcrumbs, and they're gluten-free. And one of the things that I tend to do is I try to eat a plant-based diet most of the time. On occasion, I may eat a piece of wild fish because my husband is a pescatarian. And this is fresh parsley. Parsley is really, really good for you as well. Mm-hmm. And here's some oregano. When I travel out of the country, a couple of days before I go, I actually incorporate oregano oil in my diet because it will help with any parasites or things of that you may pick up in your travel. This is garlic powder.
Okay.
This is salt and pepper. It was freshly ground. Sit and talk with me about what you have done since you've had your issues to change your diet. What are you doing to make sure that this does not happen to you again?
Water, and more water.
Okay.
I drink water, less salt.
Yes.
I'm just not attracted to salty foods
Right.
like I used to be.
Right.
Intermittent fasting,
Right.
which I've incorporated in my life, and the hot flashes. There's so many things that you go through when you get older. So the intermittent fasting, I found that worked.
Does that help you with your hormonal changes? Just quickly.
Yeah.
This is just egg. This is plant-based
Oh.
too. This is just egg.
Okay.
This big.
I thought it was mustard. Okay.
No. This is
Okay.
just egg. So this is the binder. Most people know the eggs are a binder.
Mhm.
You can also do a aquafaba, which is from the juice of a chickpea. But we decided to do this. So come on, tell me the things that you're changing that you have found that's really making a difference. Sometimes we do things and you don't see a difference or you don't feel as if you're making a change.
Yeah.
So what have you done specifically?
The intermittent fasting, I found that has helped me a lot in this journey and really cutting down on salt. I used to be a salt lady, and it's hard sometimes. You go to restaurants because it'll be salty, and I find that I can't eat it.
Right.
But once I pulled away from a lot of salt,
Right.
I could really tell the difference, and it just changed what I would go to, what I would want to eat.
Right.
So yeah.
But one of the lessons is when we go out to eat, he always says to me, he says, you never order what's on the menu. I do order what's on the menu, but I want you to change it to how I eat. So call ahead of time.
Okay.
Let them know what your dietary limitations are or whatever you want them to know. Restaurants at this stage should be preparing for people to eat healthier in their lives. So a slight adjustment it's minuscule. So that's what you do. Call ahead of time. So this is a little mold that I'm going to put this meatloaf in. I believe in presentation. Everything should have a presentation. First thing you do when you're eating, the eye see it first.
Yeah.
If it's not pleasing to the eye, I don't want it because you didn't take that effort and that love to give that to me. I'm going to sit this over here because I actually have taken an opportunity to make a meatloaf already. So I'm going to take one out. I want you to try it, but I'm going to continue with some other things. So by the time you finish, you're going to have a complete meal that is plant-based, but everything that I'm giving you I'm giving this to you for reasons because I want you to have some calcium.
Okay.
I want you to have some carbohydrates. I want you to have some protein. It is really, really good. Look at that. And would you know that it was necessarily plant-based? I
know. I'm looking at her with bated breath. I'm hoping that she's going to like it.
You've made it very flavorful. Because I'm a meat eater.
Right.
But I would not be able to tell if you didn't tell me. Because I'm tasting the garlic, the oats, the onions. I can taste it,
Right.
and it tastes good.
Yes.
So it gives it that, this tastes good.
Correct.
I'm eating healthy,
Right.
but it tastes really
Right.
good.
So the difference is that you're a meat eater. So when I'm eating things and I'm using a meat alternative, I'm doing that because my family likes my aunt. They want to taste meat. I do it because I want to just taste the food. Like you just said, the onions, the peppers and things. And that's how you should cook. When you're cooking, you should always layer your foods.
Okay.
So you can start tasting them, because when your first bite, you taste this. The second bite, you taste that. But most importantly, always make sure that your food has a nutritional content in it. So when you're cooking something, I want to make sure you have a protein. I want to make sure you have a carbohydrate. I want to make sure you have some omega-3s, because your heart, you want to support your heart. Your oats are going to lower your cholesterol, which is going to help in cleansing your plaque. It's excellent in fiber. So this is just the start of what I want to introduce you to. So if you give us a moment, we'll be right back with our second recipe. Patty, I'm going to make some spinach and arugula for you.
Okay.
But before I move on to that, it's important that we incorporate fresh fruits and vegetables in our diet. And one of the things you asked me, you said, are we going to have vegetables? I love vegetables.
Me too.
And if you're buying seasonal and local, you're helping the local economy. And then you know where your footprint is coming from, your food. So whenever you're cooking, never start in a pan that is cold.
Okay.
Always have your oil on.
Okay.
Because you want to start immediately. You want the cooking process to start immediately.
Is there a special kind of oil?
I use olive oil.
Okay.
And then there are oils for different things. Like if I'm cooking something at a higher temperature, I may use peanut oils. This is shallots and garlic.
Okay.
A friend of mine asked me, what's the difference between a shallot and a red onion? A red onion is it's more poignant, it's stronger.
Okay.
A shallot is, you still get some of the onion taste, but it's milder. So it's always important. And I love thyme. I mean, anytime I can I just love fresh herbs, and they really do have a medicinal purpose for you. So, but back to women's health. Whenever you're changing your diet, it's important to consult your doctor. Don't change your diet without consulting your doctor first. So now that you're on this journey that you're on, so you're going to start now walking purposeful, right?
Yes.
This is in your office.
Walking with a purpose. What is that?
This is arugula.
Okay.
Arugula. I love arugula. And I make all my own salad dressings. So that's something else you should start. Start making your own salad dressing. Your salads they would just wake up your salads. You don't even taste your salads when you drown it in dressings that you buy. And they're easy to make. A good salad dressing, olive oil, a little balsamic vinegar, a little bit of Dijon mustard, a little bit of fresh garlic, and a little bit of lemon juice. It'll wake it up. And you're like, this is a vinaigrette. And then put them in a blender because you want to emulsify it. It'll make it creamy. So it won't just be. So anyway, this is it. This is not going to take but a minute. You need one of the healthiest greens you can have is spinach. It's going to give you some calcium, other minerals, vitamins, fresh parsley. And me, I could just eat this just like this. I don't have to have anything else with it. So I'm going to put in some salt and pepper, but because of you, I'll do it very sparingly. And you'll find that when you're sauteing spinach, it doesn't require a lot of salt.
Okay.
Because if you put too much salt, you know it immediately once you do that. I'm going to put some lemon juice in this. And this recipe is on my website. And some mustard.
Okay, is that the Dijon mustard?
This is just a yellow mustard.
Okay.
This is not.
Okay.
But the Dijon is a good mustard when you're making your salad dressings.
Mm-hmm.
So, to cap off what we've been talking about in our health as we get older, we need to exercise.
Yeah.
We need to, our metabolism has slowed down. So we don't require as much food as we used to do as a younger person. Increase your water intake. Get a walking buddy. Get someone to walk with you. See your doctor. Also, because of the hormonal level, we're suffering from depressions too, because we can't lose our weight. We're losing our hair. We're losing our hair. And things are changing all over. But what I want you to take from this is self-care. Listen to your body. If you're not taking care of Patty, you can't take care of your family. But the most important thing that you could do is to start listening to that voice to tell you you're not doing so good.
Mm-hmm.
Walking is one of the best ways to start you back on recovery from anything. And if you have chronic diseases, how you eat crosses one disease from the next. It doesn't separate them, because if you're eating healthy, it's going to lower your diabetes. It's going to lower your blood sugar. It's going to affect your chronic heart disease. So, but make one change at a time. To make this a complete meal for Patty, is I've done some potatoes. I believe in color. So these are purple potatoes. These are Yukon. Those are red potatoes. So always incorporate color in your plate. Please taste all of that and let me know what you think about this. But this is a recipe that I use with vegan mayonnaise. I rubbed them with vegan mayonnaise and all of the different essence of stuff. And try your greens.
The potatoes, very good. I'm a spinach girl, so.
Yes.
The flavors are coming alive in my mouth.
Okay. So you had a beginning when you first put it in your mouth, a middle, and an end. And that's how you want your food to taste. So can you tell us something that maybe we don't know about Patty before we end this this session of Dishing with Patricia?
Well, eating more healthy is something that is new.
Okay.
But I'm learning the balance.
Yes.
And I'm actually easing away from some of the things that I would just love all the time.
Right.
I don't have them as much, and I've found myself putting more vegetables in my life.
Right.
I have.
Yes.
That has become something that I want in my life.
Right. And also cooking alternatives. Like I don't fry my foods. I bake and I roast most of everything. And so you start your week off with some roasted vegetables and they're on your plate. By midweek, you don't want those roasted vegetables anymore. Put it in a tomato sauce. So now you have a vegetable marinara. And, before you do the vegetable marinara, maybe add some alternative ground meat. A taco on Friday. Look, you just started the basics. So I suggest that you start having a no-meat meal once a week. But most importantly, I want us to stay healthy. And the reason why we need to stay healthy is because we have to take care of one another. And if I'm not healthy, I'm not able to take care of my husband. I'm not able to take care of our aunt. I'm not able to take care of my business. But most importantly, I can't take care of me. So if you take nothing from this, and I love that you agreed to come on my podcast, is that change happens one thing at a time. Until next time, I want to thank you, Patty, for coming on.
Thank you.
And I'll see you guys later. Bye.
If you enjoyed this or any other episodes of Dishing with Patricia, I encourage you to pass it on to your family and friends. For past episodes, recipes, or nutritional content, visit my website, classyessentialnutrition.com. I also invite you to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and to view my Dishing with Patricia on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, and share.